Well, I'll drink to somebody. Here's to Jessica, the best leg man a PI ever had.
Hey, Harry, you got that a little screwed up, don't you?
Oh, incidentally, not only did I get Benny Falcone off my back, but here you are, 5,000 clams. Never let it be said Harry McGraw welched on a debt.
Oh, Harry, are you sure? I mean, how?
How? I made a deal with the TV people.
But the fight has been canceled.
I know, but I sold them something even better. The inside story of a tough, resourceful private eye who single-handedly broke open one of the largest murder cases of the decade.
Single-handedly?
So I exaggerated a little. What's a little white lie between friends?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 27 of the Cabot Cove Confab podcast. This is Sean.
And Steve. I've got a question for Sean.
Yeah.
Have you been drinking already?
Yeah. I have been drinking since 3 o'clock.
Holy moly. So tonight's episode will be a gold star of an episode.
No, the lady across the street, she's moving back to Portland, so she just gave us all her alcohol and wine.
Wow, what great neighbor you had.
Hi, Pam.
Well, I'll tell you about my day. Because I'm sorry, we're going pre-show banter section of the episode, right?
Yeah. Well,
I had a funny moment. So, Sean and I are both man-childs, and we have our own little rooms, our little gaps with our little sci-fi collections. You've got, I forgot the name of the company, but like Doctor Who statues. You've got, don't you have like World of Warcraft or something too that you paint? Little caricatures?
Malifaux. Yeah.
And what else do you have? You have a wall of Blu-ray and DVDs. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally a wall, ladies and gentlemen. It's humongous. What else do you have in there? You've got your collection of board games, Clue board games specifically. But anyways, I've got my room. And my room consists of, like movie props. I've got some Doctor Who stuff, like sonic screwdrivers. I've got Star Wars helmets. I've got pinball machines. I got a row of pinball machines, and what else do I have in here on display? Movie posters. I like collecting actual movie posters. So I decided that in this room I was missing something on the wall, and there's something I've always wanted, but never could quite. It's a very expensive item, and I never have the money when it's available. I never have the money, and when I do have the money, I can never find it. And what it is the prop of Han Solo in carbonite from the movie Empire Strikes Back. I've always wanted one of those. And I finally just like, you know what? If you're going, you can build them, but I'm not that talented because you have to have some woodworking skills to make the frame, and you got to buy the pieces, and then you've got to sculpt it a little. It's a big mess, and it's something that's just outside of my range. And to buy one, I'm sure over $1,000. It's like I said, whenever I do have the money, that kind of money is very rare, but I can never find one. So I decided to go the cheap route because they make these cardboard standees. Now, I'm sure you've seen them, like at movie theaters and stuff. It'll be like a character or whatever, and you can have your picture taken with it. Well, there's a company that makes Star Wars ones, and they make a standee of Han Solo in carbonite. It's a piece of cardboard, right? Nothing spectacular, but it would look cool on your wall. And so I put it up, and it kept falling over, and I was getting frustrated because it's cheaply made. It costs like $40 on Amazon or 40 something, and it just kept falling over. It's just not. I would not recommend buying it. But part of the problem is it's not very solid. It's very light. Like you could blow on it, it would tip over. So I thought, you know what? I want to add some weight. I want to give it some stability. So I decided I was going to go buy some a big. I'm going to use the wrong term here. A big slate of wood, like you would in building a home or something like that, right? And you can buy them in like huge things. And so I went to Home Depot today. So I'm going to do this, and because they can cut things for you. I don't have any kind of professional wood cutting tools except for a hand saw, which is not going to work. So they'll do cuts. Home Depot will do cuts for free up to a certain amount of cuts on this wood. So I just went in there and said, okay, can I have this? I want this dimension. And while I'm waiting in line, there's this old guy, and he's getting some wood cut too. But he's getting a lot of wood. And so I decided to start a conversation with this guy. And we're talking, you know, he's complaining about his wife and her crazy projects, and he's looking at me and he goes, "What are you getting the wood cut for?" Now, I live in North Texas. This was a good old boy. I'm a bit nervous to say, well, I'm having this piece of wood cut out so I can glue a cardboard piece of Harrison Ford as Han Solo and encased in carbonite so I can make it more sturdy and lean it against my wall. I did not tell him that at all. I was far too embarrassed. I mean, he's like adding an extra room onto his house with all the wood. He's, you know, whatever. He's got some major good old boy, works with his hands, got calluses, you know. He's that kind of guy, right? So I lied and I said, "Oh, you know, it's just it's a project for the missus."
Press pause. How old was he?
Oh, he's probably in his 60s.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So I totally threw my wife. It's like, it's a project for my missus. And then I transitioned immediately from saying that statement, because I knew he was going to say, well, what's the project? Before he could even get that out of his pie hole, I said, what's your project? And so I had him talking for the next 5 minutes while they cut my piece of wood. But I just thought to myself, does anybody else get embarrassed about doing stuff like this? Like, do people who are like cosplayers, like make their special costumes and have to buy special materials and other things, do they get embarrassed when they run into situations like that? And
absolutely not. No.
Yeah, it's all me. I knew it.
Yeah. This isn't a cosplay situation, but this is Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, that podcast that I take a drink. I was wearing their shirt yesterday.
You have a shirt?
Yeah, they made a shirt. Chris made a shirt, and we get it. And I like it because it's extra large, which means my tits don't show in it. And
don't have tits.
And I wore it to the movie theater, and the ticket taker said, "I love your shirt," and I'm like, "Oh my God, yes, thank you so much." I didn't tell him that there was an actual podcast, but yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, no, I think that I remember one time talking to a lady at the paint section and saying, "I need to get this the color for a dollhouse. What do you recommend?" And she's like, "Okay, what do you want for the dollhouse, sir?" Okay, I'll get that right now. You know, it's
is this for your little dolly, sir? I don't know why I gave her a British accent, but I did.
No, it's just like, oh, you like the little dollies, don't you? Okay, we'll get that for you right away.
I know this comes up like every fourth episode we do, but Spaceballs, when Colonel Sanders catches Dark Helmet playing with his dolls. And he goes, "You didn't see what I was doing, were you?" And he goes, "No, sir, I didn't see you playing with your dolls." And he goes, little action figures.
Well, that's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. And we're in our 40s, and it is a thing. Are you done? I didn't want to step on your toes.
No, I said what I wanted to say.
Okay. Pre-show banter! Okay, so... Steve, you're either gonna freak out about this, like the Satanic Temple,
Oh, Jesus! All
or
right.
you're gonna be like all into this. I don't know which, but tomorrow, Monday, as we record this, I am going to be meeting with a medium. That means a person that can see dead people.
Oh,
that,
no.
That, I don't know. I guess that I'm related.
I'm not going to sound like your boyfriend here, but isn't that a waste of money?
Yeah, you pretty much sound like my boyfriend. And it was a lot of money, but I'm doing it tomorrow. And either I'm going to be amazed, or I'm going to be like, fuck all this. Well, this guy, he was on Jim Harold's podcast. I'm not really saying that because Jim Harold, whatever. He has whoever's podcast. But whatever. I just want to see. I just want to see if this person can really, really see dead people and dead people that are talking to me.
You fly me out there, and I will buy a bottle of scotch and save you a ton of money. And I'll make you believe that I can read ghosts.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. I'm doing it.
Uh-huh. All right.
And,
all right. Well, I want to report. So next episode we record, we're gonna get a commentary from you, not commentary, but a report from you.
No, you're right. No, I will come back and I will give you, you, Steve, and the readers, what the fuck this guy said, because I'm gonna be frank with you, Steve. I don't think he's gonna say fuck all. I just
why? How? I mean, I know it's got to be a couple hundred, because when I did this thing, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, it cost me a couple hundred dollars.
Well, that's how much it costs.
I can't imagine. Yeah. So what I did I went to a guy that was I forgot what they call him now. He's a hypnotist, and he can access your previous lives. You know, if you believe in reincarnation, which I do, and he would be able to access that. You know, they put you under, and then you've heard the stories like these people who they go under, and all of a sudden they're speaking a foreign language they have nothing about, or they're speaking in an Irish accent all of a sudden, and they're a man, but now they're speaking as a little girl. So you hear those crazy stories, and I always enjoy those. So I thought, like I said, 10, 15 years ago, I was going to go do it. I had a tape recorder, so I brought it in to record the session. So he said he specializes in it. He does other things, like helps you quit smoking, but he also did this. And after, I forgot how long the session was, over an hour, complete sham. I was so upset, and I think I learned about this guy, or what prompted me was that paranormal podcast we used to listen to, not Jim Harold. It was the one with the Australian guys, Mysterious Universe.
Yeah.
Mysterious Universe. They had it done, and their story sounded really interesting, so it prompted me. And yeah, it was $200, well wasted. Not well wasted. That's sarcasm.
If this guy says Ruth is standing over you, and Annie is standing over you, and they're wondering why you don't get a job, I'm in there.
He may be fishing too, so be careful of those little tactics.
I don't know.
Like, is there an elderly woman with the name that starts with an A? An A. Was she elderly?
I hate that shit. That's like John Edwards. Remember John Edwards? He had his own show on the, I think it was a Sci-Fi Network, where he'd be like fishing among all these people. Okay, I've got somebody. Lady, her first name starts with D. Donna. Okay, you ma'am, Donna is sad.
Maybe it was Dan. Maybe it was a Dan. Maybe Dan. Secretly, he wished he was Donna.
So I'm going into this as a cautious skeptic, if you will.
Good.
I'm
That's the
not
best
going
one.
into it full frontal, like, oh my God, he's gonna steal my. No, I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I think we've both discussed. We both believe, but we both are skeptical. Okay, great. Got to do my mouth exercises before I podcast, apparently. But no, we're both skeptics of all that stuff. I don't think our minds are open, but they're not so open. Our brains fall out. At least I know that about me. I hope that about you.
But for me, it's like, okay, I paid this money. You're either going to deliver or you won't. Type of thing.
But
And
why do you want to do this? Like, what's prompting you? Do you want to speak to your grandmothers or what?
No, I don't think that's necessary. I just want to know if it's real. Like, I want to know if this...
Your grandmother's going to come through. Why did you waste your money on this?
Well, I just want to know if this guy is for real or not. Like, to hear him, I'm sorry, to hear him, it sounds like it's for real, but to do it is a different thing. So I'm just going to do it. I mean, I spend so much time listening to paranormal stuff over podcasts and all that. And if this guy can actually say something about my dead relatives that he shouldn't know about, then I'm in. Okay? And I am willing to pay the money to say, I'm willing to gamble and say, I'm in for this.
So you need
right.
this for confirmation that you're not wasting your time on all this paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of in between a true believer and a James Randi. I don't like James Randi, but I think he's done some really good stuff to kind of ferret out all the scam artists, and there are a lot. It's just I don't know what it is about this. I don't want to call it an industry, but there's something about it that just gravitates a lot of con artists.
Yeah, I agree. Have you seen the James Randi documentary? He's no longer with us, but have you seen the documentary?
I don't think so. I know I've watched a lot about him. When was the documentary released?
Probably 7 years ago.
I may have then. Okay. If it was something recent, I know I haven't, but
I think it was called like An Honest Liar or A True Liar or something.
Yeah. I think I did see that.
Where you see him just fuck up everybody, including Uri Geller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the one that bent spoons on
Yes.
Johnny Carson? Yeah.
Yes. Uri Geller, not the one that went to space, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who that guy was. I think he's no longer with us, but yeah.
All right. On that good note, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode.
All right, what's this called, Steve? I still can't.
Death takes a dive. Now, this is a kind of a sequel to Tough Guys Don't Die, which was a season 1, episode 15, because it stars or has a recurring member or a recurring character, Harry McGraw, who returns. So, but I want to talk about first who's in this. And Sean, this episode has more actors than a whorehouse has hookers. I mean, it's amazing how many people are starring in this. First, we have a brilliant actor. I don't know if he's still alive, but he's brilliant. John Amos, who plays Doc Penrose.
He's still alive. He's still with us. Yes.
A lot of people probably remember him, especially from my generation, remember him from Good Times as the father. Ernest Borgnine plays Cosmo Ponzini.
Sir,
Yeah.
Did you know Ernest Borgnine? I thought that was an actor that I would have to train you on. But you know him?
The actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in, I don't know if you ever watched the show in the 80s. He was in, it was called Airwolf. He was in that. He's done a lot of stuff.
He won an Academy Award for a movie from the 50s called Marty. Where he played a single guy, kind of schlebish, Jewish, and didn't know how to hook up with girls and that type of thing. He won Best Actor for that. The movie won Best Picture, and that's his big thing. But yeah, and I remember looking at this and what the fuck is Ernest Borgnine doing in this?
You know what? He's done even weirder stuff. He's also the voice actor on SpongeBob SquarePants as Mermaid Man. So
he is no longer with us.
He isn't? Oh, that's
yeah.
a shame.
He died years ago. He is also not a fan of Brokeback Mountain.
Okay.
I
did not know that.
He and Tony Curtis refused to watch it because...
Tony Curtis, okay. Huh.
Yeah, gay shit, whatever.
And also Randy Quaid, not a fan of Brokeback Mountain. I think you told me that.
Well, no, Randy Quaid was actually in Brokeback.
But he wasn't happy because he didn't get his fair share or something like that.
He wasn't happy because it became a blockbuster. So he sued them and said, hey, I thought I was just in a regular film and it's a blockbuster. Stupid reason to sue somebody.
That is.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We also have LeVar Burton as Dave Robinson.
Jeez.
We all know who LeVar Burton is. I know him from Star Trek: Next Generation, Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
What else? He's been in a lot. What was the name of that? I mean, there's a lot of things he's been in. He has an incredible film history, TV history. What
I kind of like about him in this is that he's kind of an asshole.
Is he?
You don't really think of LeVar Burton as being an asshole. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's like the Reading Rainbow guy. He's Geordie LaForge, whatever, and whatever. And in this, he's an asshole. But
the character is an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the actor. I'm like, I
don't know what the actor is like, Steve.
Well, no, you can go on Reddit, and there's a forum where actors that are assholes. Of course, the ones you probably already know, like Steven Seagal. People who've met them and they tell their horror stories. There's one about who's the guy who played the Hulk, Incredible Hulk in the 70s? Lou Ferrigno. Apparently, Lou Ferrigno is not very nice. Who else? Janet Fielding from Doctor Who, but that's from personal experience. Mark Strickson from Doctor Who.
He's nice. We like him.
He doesn't like me, but anyways,
whatever.
We interviewed him, and he took a dislike to me. But whatever. We also have starring Adam West as well as Wade. What's the last name?
Talmadge.
Yeah, Adam West. I was not expecting that. When I saw him pop up on screen, I was, wow, it was neat to see him. Because it was like, so when did this episode record? It had to have been after the Batman series.
Yes,
so,
it was.
Yeah.
So Adam West plays this character like an asshole. Setting aside what I said about LeVar Burton, he plays it like an asshole, but you don't know that he's an asshole because he's being played by Adam West, and he has this girlfriend with him named Lois that may help in the story. I don't know, but go ahead, Steve.
Well, he's basically the Don King of this episode. He's a promoter, not very nice guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He's not nice at all.
And then, but last but not least, we have Jerry Orbach returning as the amazing Harry McGraw. But now he's no longer a PI. I guess because Jessica never decided to join him for, as a partner in his PI business, that it fell apart. It's really unfortunate. I wonder what happened to all those other characters.
All right, so we have to talk about Harry for just a minute, because he's not in a lot of this episode. And...
Not like the first one we saw him in.
Yeah. And the things that I said about him in the first one come true in this one. Where he just says a bunch of stupid things like, "Hey, that guy's a barf bag. I don't know. He's what did that dame say?"
Yeah.
It's just stupid. I'm so
yes.
sorry.
If you're a feminist, by the way, this episode will offend you on so many levels. So if you are a feminist, please don't watch this. I'm saving you a lot of grief. Just saying.
It's really bad. I think there was the word retard.
Yes, I think so. I think you're right. I think I recall that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have to laugh at that because it's like
so... You laugh because it's awkward. It's just... You're not laughing because of how it was used. You're laughing because it was used. It's just bad.
Yeah. Folks, don't use the word retard. Just don't use it.
Okay. Yeah. So now we've got that out of the way. Let's go and start the setup of the scene. So Jessica is in Boston. She's talking to Harry, and they're watching this boxer who... I recognize the boxer. What was the actor's name on Blaster? The boxer's name is Blaster, by the way. It's...
I looked him up. And
Harold Sylvester. I know I've seen him. I've seen him in stuff.
Yeah.
IMDb was mainly a lot of TV credits, but nothing that would typically watch. But I've seen him in things. Plenty of things. So anyways, Blaster's this boxer. He's kind of a past his prime boxer. Maybe could have been something at some time, but he let it fall away. He's got a temperament problem. He's a big dude. He's very intimidating.
I like him. He's my favorite character in this story.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is that Jessica's watching him, boxing with some other guy, and I don't think she's ever seen boxing before.
Probably not. No, Frank kept her away from taking to the fights, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of.
She is so disturbed by the boxing. We can't control it. 7:00 Sunday night viewers, old people. Oh my God, there's boxing. Hold my pearls.
So yeah, she's watching Blaster train and his. I don't watch boxing. I enjoy watching. I used to enjoy watching it in the 80s and 90s, but I don't know enough about the sport to really talk shop about it.
Yeah.
But his sparring partner, sorry, that's what I was looking for. Is calling him names. You're a has-been. Your good days are behind you. You're a slob. Whatever. He's saying shit, and so Blaster gets mad and just goes after him, which results in them getting kicked out of Ernest Borgnine's gym. That's where they're boxing, by the way, doing practices. So Harry, Jessica's like, "Why did you bring me to watch this?" So
why am I here? Basically,
so they go to one of my favorite locations in the episode. In this bar. It looks really great. I want to go to this bar, and I want to say this set looks familiar. I don't know if it's from.
It's from Frasier. It's Frasier.
Really?
Yeah. They did this. They used this set in Frasier, and
They re-
I can't tell you what specific episode it was, but it's Frasier. Yeah.
Did they ever use it in Columbo?
No.
Okay.
And the lady who's the waitress, by the way, she for some reason has 4th credit on IMDb. Like, oh, Marcia.
Wow.
I it's not fair that I don't say her name, but yeah, here's the steak. Here's the baked potatoes, the salad.
Oh, yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
So, yeah, they're all having lunch. And I want to assume every time they're eating, anytime they go out, Jessica's paying for it. Like, I just assume.
See,
But, yes.
This, you're right. You're right. Every time, because Harry McGraw is a moocher. He's a moocher. That's what he's doing.
He's a moocher, but he's also honest, too, I think. I think there's a bit of honesty. And the reason, I'll tell you why. First, the scene, they go to this bar to get some lunch, and Blaster loves food. He's a foodie, okay? He orders, 4 steaks, 3 baked potatoes, a hamburger. I don't know. I got this huge order. I think Jessica orders a salad, because, that's what she eats. I don't remember what Harry orders, but and the whole time while, Harry goes into this flashback where he's setting up how they got to where they are now with the boxer. And the whole time, Blaster is just enjoying his meal. He's just eating. What a great acting gig this was.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all you need, we're going to give you steaks and potatoes, and you just got to eat it. That's all you got to do. Eat on cue. And it looked like good food. But so while he's eating, we're getting the flashbacks, the wavy lines, and we find out that Harry was hired. Well, this is the beginning of what caused the problem. Harry was hired by this, I'm assuming, this mafioso guy called Benny Falcone. He wanted, I guess his daughter ran away with his sax player, so I'm thinking Bill Clinton, with his sax player. And so he hired Harry, because he was a PI, to find them. And he paid him $5,000 up front. So a week later, this is what we're finding out from Harry, right? So a week later, the kids come back. And they end up moving in with Benny. And now Benny's like, hey, I want my $5,000 back. I didn't, you didn't do anything. And Harry, already spent it on blow and hookers. And so he doesn't have the $5,000 anymore. He spent $5,000 in a week. Now, this is 1980s money. So that's a lot of money back then. I don't know how he spent that money so quickly. Except the aforementioned blow and
I think
and street hookers.
Might be right. All that. Well, we have LeVar Burton talking to Ernest Borgnine. LeVar Burton.
Whoa! You're jumping up. Wait, I want to talk more about these backstories, right? So he has to get $5,000 and pay back Benny Falcone. If he doesn't, Benny's talking about breaking his legs and making him suffer. So he goes to his, as he quotes, finance manager. He's also a fight manager, Pinky Schultz. Now, he finds out as he goes to Pinky, because Pinky owes him money, but Pinky is now dead. Because he spent the past 60 years of his life having the good life and drinking bad booze. Which,
wait, sir.
Yeah.
No, isn't that going... Oh, wait, no, you're right. Keep going.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, shit, Sean, that's you and I. We've been drinking Well, I drink cheaper booze than you do, so maybe it's my life that I'm seeing in the casket.
He died, and they're like, oh, he died from bad booze.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, do I drink bad booze? I don't know.
You drink Johnny Walker. I drink whatever's on sale, basically.
So that gives us 20 years from now?
Wonderful. Hey, that's great. We'll still be podcasting, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And in 20 years, there won't be such a thing as podcasting. That'll be the old talkies, eh? Yeah, we're not.
News of the world. Turns out that the Nazis moved into Poland. Does anybody want to help? No.
I brought that up on a podcast outside of this one. Drink, if you're paying attention.
You're right.
We review.
I stole your joke, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, no, we talked about. I mentioned Nazis in it, and everybody on the group discussion got mad at me. So, all right. So, anyways, Pinky has left Harry the contract to Blaster. So now Harry is the manager of Blaster. What's he going to do? He still needs $5,000. So he's like, I'm going to try to sell this contract to somebody else in the business because he knows shit about boxing. So he goes to Poncini's gym to try to sell Blaster's contract to Wade.
Ponzi's gym. Ponzi.
Yeah.
Ponzi, played by Ernest Borgnine, who, in my opinion, had Murderer
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
taped
surprised
on
he
his
wasn't.
head. I totally thought it was him.
Really?
Whatever.
Anyway, so he's trying to sell it to Wade at Talmadge. And he's like, "Get the fuck out of my face, you moron!" And basically gets him kicked out of the gym. And but apparently has a change of mind. He decides that in a later scene, he's like, "Hey, yeah, I'll let you box. We'll have it. It's the TV fight, you know. So sign this contract, and Blaster will have his chance. But Blaster's got to throw the fight, which Harry is not willing to do."
I was a little bit confused by that, and then like 30 seconds later, I was like, fuck it, whatever. Because Lois sleeps with Jerry because he's so hot.
Who's Jerry?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jerry
Harry.
Orbach. Harry, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Jerry is Harry.
He is a little, yeah, he looks like he might be. So that's the backstory. Good, I don't know, it felt like a good 10 minutes of backstory. Like, that was all backstory. So, as he's, I guess Jessica at some point, she's like, okay, that's okay, I see where this is going. I've heard enough. I'll just lend you the $5,000. You pay me back. And Harry's like, no, I don't want to borrow money, which is why I kind of feel like it gets your thought that he likes to mooch off people. Because he doesn't want to mooch off Jessica. He just wants to have a loan. So, she writes him a check for $5,000. And while he goes up and takes a piss or makes a call, I'm not real sure, Blaster starts talking to Jessica. He had just polished off his 4 steaks, his 3 potatoes, his hamburger, and half a slab of beef. He admits to Jessica that I feel sorry for Harry, but I typically will throw these fights anyways. And Jessica's a little confused by this, and she's like, "Why?" Well, he goes, "I've had my limelight. People only want to fight me now, so they'll have it on the record that they beat me. And my money now is just left in just having these fights, these last resort fights. That's all I have in me. I'm never going to make it to the top, so why even try? And if I continue, I've got a couple more fights out of this, then I will retire to some dairy farm in Kentucky. I forgot where. Tennessee, I don't know. And I'm going to retire there. And I'm thinking in my head, some dude is scamming you. It's like saying, I felt like it was, I'll sell you a bridge, in New York or something like that. It's just, I felt like he's getting scammed. This guy, he's sweet he's sweet as pie. Blaster's a great character. You fall in love with him. But he's not the smartest. He's not the sharpest knife. In the knife drawer, whatever you call that. I don't know how that saying goes.
He does this, he falls in line with it, and he becomes Jessica's bodyguard, which I liked but didn't like at the same time.
It becomes driving Miss Daisy at the end. I think I joked with you. Yeah. He drives Jessica around because we all know Jessica just refuses to drive.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to tell you, Steve. The other night, I was like drifting off to sleep, and like all of a sudden it occurred to me, why doesn't Jessica Fletcher drive?
Yeah.
And I was awake again. And it's like, she doesn't fucking drive. Why don't you drive, bitch?
Did you come up with an explanation?
But she does jog and leave her door open in case she gets a telephone call. Did you see this, Steve? No?
Yes. So, we go back to, we finally get a call back to Cabot Cove for, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Of this
and
episode.
She's like jogging, and she runs through her door to pick up the phone because LeVar Burton is calling, and he ain't calling about Reading Rainbow. It's bad. It's just bad blocking. And also, right after she talks to him, she says, "Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't."
Yeah.
know
Well, the reason he calls.
herself.
Well, hold on. The reason he calls her is he's a sports reporter for the local Boston paper, and apparently Jessica's name was listed on as one of the managers of Blaster. Well, I guess when they had to do the weigh-in and all that. So she's listed, and of course, a lot of people are like, Jessica Fletcher, the murder mystery novelist that's in her 60s that lives in Connecticut, what is she? So.
Well, what
he
she says
calls her
to
to
him,
interview her.
He calls her, and then she's like, "I don't know if I appreciate your tone." Lady, he didn't really use any kind of tone.
No, not really.
Yeah, and she does it again later on. Jessica is just so racist.
So she's mad. She's like, "Well, wait, no, my name. I don't know why my name is on that contract." But she knows Harry is involved, so she calls Harry or calls his apartment phone number. And instead of Harry picking up, it's a Lieutenant Casey, who's arresting Harry for first-degree murder.
Mm-hmm. We don't know who he killed, but he's being arrested because that's how they do in Murder
in Boston.
She Wrote.
Oh, yeah, in Boston too.
Yeah, in Boston.
So, Lieutenant Casey, I guess, is another recurring character because Jessica and Casey recognize each other over the phone.
Uh-huh.
But we haven't seen that, so I don't know what that episode is.
We haven't seen that either. I don't know what that is. I don't even know how many episodes Harry McGraw has been in, but. Yeah, so Harry tells Jessica, "Well, you can be my lawyer." And that sounds like bullshit. But lo and behold, she does make a great lawyer because she questions Lieutenant Casey left and right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So Jessica does head to Boston to bail out Harry, and then we get, as she's got 15 minutes with the convict or Harry, because Casey's allowing them to talk for 15 minutes, except with one guard, which there's a scene that cracks me up later. But Harry goes into, now we get another backstory flashback, right? And we see Harry waiting outside of Pansini's office with Talmadge and Sean. That's the box. What was it? Sean was the Irish Shalani or something like
Sean
that.
Shalane or something.
Shalanahan or Shanigans or I don't know. So, anyways, they're in there, and the discussion is between Talmadge and Sean is that, hey, we're gonna have this other guy, this Blaster. He's gonna throw the fight. You're gonna win, and you need protection. I'm setting you up. You're gonna be a winner. And we get a little backstory here in the sense that Cosmo Pansini used to be a boxer too, and he threw a fight so Wade could make a bunch of money. In kind of as a reward, he gave him the gym so he could train up more boxers for his farming activities to make money with new stupid boxers. And Sean Delaney is like, no, I'm my own fighter, I can do it. And that's when Harry kind of barges in after being flirted with Lois, which is the slutty girlfriend of Wade Talmadge. He goes in and he says, hey, no, my buddy or my boy Blaster is going to give a legitimate fight, and for whatever reason gets into a fight with Wade, and that's when Cosmo goes to give him a sucker punch, and of course Harry carries a gun for some reason. I'm surprised he hasn't killed somebody accidentally at this point in his life.
Yeah,
maybe he has. And what?
Well, guns.
So
just go ahead.
And so he ends up firing his gun into the couch, and he gets escorted out. So, yeah, there we go. What are your thoughts so far on the episode?
Hold on, let me disentangle my legs. My thoughts in the episode so far is,
are you liking these callbacks? Do you like how this episode's progressing? Because right now it's just Harry telling Jessica what's happened previously.
Yeah, I hate this, Steve.
Oh.
I hate this. I think this might be one of the worst. And then
don't show your hand yet. We still gotta.
No, I know. Then when you think you don't hate it, then we cut to Jessica and what's his name, the Blaster training, and then I hated it more. Steve, this is horrible.
Okay. Well, yeah. So. We find out we're still in the flashback story
doing
mode.
It, ladies and gentlemen, he's still gonna do it.
What?
No, I'm still. You're still gonna go through it.
I'm still. Yeah, that's what this podcast is about, sir. So I'm going to talk about this show.
Okay. All right.
So we find out that Lois, the slutty girlfriend of Wade, shows up at Harry's apartment, and they make out, and Harry's going into detail about what's
because he's so hot.
Oh yeah, He's
47 years old, which is 1 year older than I am, sir.
You look a lot better than.
Yeah, I know
he does,
and I think I look a lot sexier than Jerry Orbach. Could you, Lois? Okay.
So as Harry is going into how he's fucking Lois, Jessica interrupts him and says, "You can stop with the blow by blow description." And just as she rolls her eyes, like I don't want to hear anymore. It's I don't know if he's trying to turn Jessica on. It's just bizarre. So Talmadge, we find out the reason for Harry being murdered is Talmadge has been killed because there's a .38 caliber bullet in his chest, and he was shot under a bridge.
Yeah, were you pissed off that we didn't get the money shot of the murder of the dead body?
No, it didn't really bother me. No.
Okay.
You wanted to see.
I just wanted to see a dead body.
Adam West shot.
Okay.
So
murder.
It was
murder,
the Joker.
She wrote. I want to see the murder. I want to see Adam West. Slumped over a steering wheel. I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, you do see a photo of Adam West slumping over a steering wheel.
It doesn't count.
Why?
Because it has to be on camera. Oh my God! Oh, it's him. It's Mr. So-and-so. Murder mysteries don't really have that much, heaviness unless you have people finding the murdered victim. I mean, it's got to be, it's, oh my God, we saw Mr. Talmadge. Oh, good dear. And then, like, music cue, cut and go to a commercial. Sir.
You know who I would have liked to have seen kill?
Shit.
Wait, Talmadge, whatever. Because he was also in Batman, and he was also in the Rocky movies. Burgess Meredith. I would love to have seen him as being a killer. And as he shoots him in the chest, he walks away going, wah, 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 wah.
Or Caesar Romero.
No, Burgess Meredith, because he was in the Rocky movies.
Okay. Oh.
There had been a double meaning there.
Oh. Okay.
Right?
Correct. Yeah. Can you continue with this, Steve?
Okay, I can tell you're getting drunker by the moment. Because you had to think, can you continue, Eris? Steve. Yes. So, okay. I can feel the anger vibrating across the interwebs at this moment of me saying that.
I'm sorry.
All right.
People.
So here's a clue.
People.
Here's a clue. You like clues, right?
Yeah, I love clues.
All right. So on the body of Wade Talmadge, there's no powder burns on his shirt, which is very unusual. So someone were to walk up to him and shoot him at close range, which they would have in this scenario. There's no powder burns. Very strange. Now, another thing is that the bullet that was removed from Wade matches from the revolver of Harry's revolver. I guess the barrel leaves markings on a bullet. It's the same markings. So that bullet was definitely fired from Harry's gun.
Now, Steve, can you explain to me later on why that marks the person who's the murderer? Because I sure fucking don't.
I knew immediately. I'm like, that moment
did.
where... when Harry fires that gun off into the couch, that's the only way. I already know Harry's not the killer.
Uh-huh.
But how did they get a bullet from Harry that was fired? Well, it was that scene previously where we see him shooting... He pulls a gun on Wade and fires into the couch. So it's somebody in that room. I know immediately it's either Ponzini, it's either Sean the boxer, or it's got to be one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two. Maybe it could have been the girlfriend Lois.
Yeah,
could have been her.
Yeah,
but she is very much a suspect. Yeah. So as Jessica's leaving, she hails a cab, and she is kidnapped by LeVar Burton, and his girlfriend Pam, or his photographer Pam.
Yeah, it's not his girlfriend really, but she, is in love with him. Yeah, LeVar Burton is a dick, ladies and gentlemen.
You mean the character, not the actor?
Of course not the character.
Okay,
he's like,
clarify.
okay, Angela, I'm going to, trap you in this car. I'm going to do everything, blah, blah. And then later on, his assistant does some stuff and whatever.
Wow. So it's funny because as LeVar Burton is trying to interview Jessica and try to get the dirt on Talmadge, Jessica turns the roles on him and she starts interviewing him. And we find out during this that Ponzini's the one that had to throw a fight, and that's how he got the gym.
Steve.
Yeah.
I'm putting this here right now.
What?
Staying here. Don't apologize for LeVar Burton. Okay, keep going.
Wow. All right. So that's how Ponzini got the gym. We also know that Sean Shalani is weak as putty, as if everybody knows in the boxing industry or in the sports industry that Sean is not a real boxer. As soon as he fights somebody, he's going to get floored. He's going to get knocked out.
Yeah. Well, the same thing with what's Jessica's boxer's name? I can't remember. Blaster. Oh.
He's Master Blaster.
These people suck. Is what we're...
Wow,
Steve.
I foresee a low score from Sean tonight.
Now, Steve, do you like boxer movies?
I've enjoyed them, but they're not really my cup of tea. Why?
Have you seen the fuck it's called?
Raging Bull?
No,
Rocky.
Those are both good movies. Hilary Swank.
Gonger. What was her? No, what was the name of that movie? Yes, I did see that. That was good too.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it.
So, boxer movies. Yay.
Okay. And,
keep going.
So even though Wade Talmadge is dead, everybody's thinking, okay, the fight's off. The TV fight, the broadcasted fight is not going to go through because he was the promoter. It's done. No, not so much. And we see, first of all, Blaster and both, I think Sean, both kind of a little disappointed. Like they want the fight to be canceled, but when they find out it's still on, the only people who are excited about it are Cosmo Pansini. And so Jessica goes and she wants to talk to him. And he throws out like, hey, this is a men's gym. No women allowed. And he points to it. So she abides to Borgnine and doesn't enter his office. So,
well, she has a conversation with the manager and Sean about blah, blah, blah. Steve,
blah,
I'm
blah, blah.
checked out now.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I'll continue. You just comment on this, okay? So, Jessica decides that now she's the manager because Harry is in jail. He can't do shit. So she goes back to the bar where Doc and Blaster are, and we find that Doc is got a serious problem with gambling.
Wait, hold on. She went back to the bar. I didn't remember any bar in this.
Mm-hmm. The bar
She went back to the bar?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So we find out Doc's got a gambling problem with horses. And Blaster, we see Blaster, he's eating a hamburger and some other things. And so, but she asks Doc, hey, I need your help to train Blaster. I can't do it on my own. And he agrees to join because he's in for some, I guess he owes a bookie a lot of money. So.
Yeah. By the way, Blaster can eat a horse.
Probably has.
Yeah.
He's probably gone to a stable and goes, I want that horse.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast earlier where somebody had like teenage sons and they would just she said they just fucking eat everything. They fucking eat everything. Like I'll cook a pot of beans, they'll eat it. No problem. No problem.
I have the opposite problem. My kids don't eat anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to the episode. So Jessica goes and visits Harry. Now this is the scene where he's reading the paper. He's reading about everything that's being reported on, and he's upset because he's being reported as age 47. And
age 47. My God. By the way, I'm 46.
You're 46?
Yeah, I'm 46.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What do you hate me for that? What are you trying to
say? I thought you were closer to my age.
No. I'm not 62.
I'm not 62. Good Lord. I know you're drunk. So, yeah, Jessica's reviewing her notes with Harry. And basically, Harry's like, the killers are going to be after you now. Since I've been framed. And I'm in jail, so they're going to be after you since you've taken on this role with Blaster. But not to worry, because Blaster is going to be her enforcer. He's going to watch over her and protect her and drive her around town wherever she wants to go. And so there's this scene where, every boxing movie, Sean, has to have that scene of training. Like that. It's usually done with some 80s rock song in the background. So we get that minus the 80s music.
I hated this. I hated it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, go on. I want to hear your comment on this.
No, it was so... I was well, I'm supposed to, reserve my opinion until we're done talking about the episode. But the whole time I was watching this, I was like, is this a different, series? And they gave us the script? Because Angela Lansbury is horrible in it. Mm-hmm. This, and then they cut to what you called the
training montage.
Yeah, the training montage or road work, as they said. I had to look that up.
Oh, that was I thought they were actually construction guys. So road work means you're going out and jogging, jump roping, and shit.
I think so. Yes, you're doing jogging and all that. Yeah, that's called road work.
I did not know that.
All right.
So yeah, we're missing the key element of music that's in it, and I'm gonna play some music. So if we got this music playing in the background, it would have sold it for me. Don't you think?
No, it's not that. It's not
no,
that.
Okay. So hey, but before that, we get a clue, and I'm just going to bring it up because I know you have a fetish for clues. We learn through a sportscast that a TV sportscaster, he's talking about the upcoming fight, and he's going, he's talking about the boxers, how Blasters is has been. He's going up against this young Sean Shenanigans, whatever his name is, and we find out that Sean was when in his youth, when he came from a farm, he was an expert duck hunter, and at the age of 16, he was an expert 12-gauge shotgun shooter.
Yeah, that's great.
Seems like a weird thing to kind of bring up about someone's boxing history. Kind of felt like that was probably a clue, and it is. Yeah, it is indeed a clue.
But the way that they showed it, I mean, they show this on TV, and they show this unknown person sort of putting on their jogger shorts, whatever.
Yeah.
Their what would you call it? The
training
timer,
montage,
the and all that, and it turns out, oh, it's Jessica. Oh, she's doing. I hate this, Steve. Go ahead.
What do you hate about it?
This is so stupid. I mean, everything through it, I feel that Jessica Fletcher was just being an old lady in Boston undercrime, whatever. And it didn't really jibe with a lot of the other Murder, She Wrote episodes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so.
Are we done talking about the actual plot? Because I'm...
Oh, sorry to hear that. You're done. You're done with this episode already.
No,
I can tell.
I did not like this at all. I thought this was.
You gotta hold it for the end.
Okay, sir.
You gotta hold it for the end.
All right.
We're getting there. We're almost there. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I was late tonight. I will apologize. The reason that Sean is more drunk than usual is because he was waiting for me to finish watching this episode. I decided I wanted to take an afternoon nap, being a Sunday and all, and building my Han Solo and Carbonite prop. Not really a prop, but whatever. So I wanted to take a little nap, And I'm like, okay, I have plenty of time. As long as I wake up an hour before we start recording, I will be A-okay.
No.
This episode is an hour and 12 minutes. Typically, they're 45 minutes.
Oh, really? This was longer?
This was an hour and 12 minutes.
I thought but I didn't... Okay, that's interesting.
So I thought, I have 45 minutes to watch an episode. I can get that out just in time before we started recording. So I slept, got up a little late. Like, I can still do it. It's going to be close, but I can do it. And when I saw the time, an hour and 12, I'm like, oh, shit. So I had to text you. And that's when I texted you, when I realized I was not going to make... I think it was like 15 minutes before record time, and I still had 30 minutes to go. So... so postponed. So you probably were drinking the entire time.
Oh, no, I've been drinking since 3 p.m., sir. No, this... I didn't realize that this went over an hour.
Oh, yeah, and it feels like it, doesn't it?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it feels like it.
So during this training montage, just because she's worn out, Blaster's like, he's loving it. He's got a sexy old white woman trailing him. Reminds him of his younger days. And Doc makes he's just making funny comments about it, and he rattles. They talk about who would kill, Wade Talmadge, and Doc's like, well, it's probably. Oh no, Jessica thinks it's somebody who probably didn't want the fight to go on. So that cuts it down to either Blaster, who we know isn't the killer. Because one, he's a great killer, but two, you've also said in the past that nobody of color ever is the killer in Murder, She Wrote or Columbo. So
absolutely yes. Even though what's her name? I wrote down her name. The lady, LeVar Burton's assistant.
Pam.
Pam Collins. She's totally sort of a. Like, she did it.
I don't think she would. No, not Pam. But we find out. Yeah, Doc's also rattling. Oh, so that would leave Sean. So pretty much, I'm thinking Sean's the killer because we've narrowed down. If you use the clue reasoning, you start chopping away of motive and who was in the room when the gun went off. It all points to Sean. So, yeah.
And there's a cushion with a bullet that's not in it. Yada, yada.
So, Doc is rattling off. He's like, yeah, but, there's a lot of ex-fighters that really had it in for Wade. And he starts rattling off. And one of them he mentions is Lou Robbie, this Scranton scrapper, who, if you watch The Office, I don't know if you do...
it's stupid.
Got a Pam in this episode.
It's stupid.
But anyways, the Scranton Scrapper was 15 years ago. Was in a fight, and Wade said, "I need you to throw the fight," and it apparently didn't work out. It made Lou Robbie a vegetable because he was so determined.
Because that's how you do.
And we find out in a few scenes later that Lou Robbie is LeVar Burton's father, or the character's father.
Okay, they do a really nice job of who's the murderer? Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Is it LeVar Burton's father? I don't know. Is it LeVar Burton? I don't know. They do a really good job of that.
Okay.
Can I say that? Okay.
Yes, you can say whatever you want. So, another thing that comes up from Pam, because...
Pam.
Yeah, as she's talking to Pam, that it's weird because Talmadge's clothes, he was kind of in a sloppy attire. He was always wearing kind of a preppy, he'd wear a sweater, a nice jacket. He was very into his self-image. And so how he was killed in a sweatshirt or a t-shirt. Very unlike him to be seen like that in public.
It's preppy. He was
preppy.
Wearing
That's what it was. Yeah.
Clothes. I don't know.
And we also see Lois. She's been tailing Jessica
Uh-huh.
during this whole time,
Uh-huh.
and she calls Dennis McConnell. Now, we haven't talked about Dennis McConnell because he's the trainer for Sean, and he's a real sneaky. Yeah, yes, Dennis McConnell. He's a real snaky looking.
He might be the murderer while you're watching
Yes.
this. He might be the murderer. Probably not, but I'm not sure. I've got my eye on him, but yeah.
Yeah. So, should I continue, or did you want any more?
No, I didn't.
Add color to what
No,
I've said
I
so
didn't
far.
want any. Steve, I hate this. Go ahead and add color to it. And
No, you're the color commentary, apparently.
No, I'll just sit here.
Okay.
No,
So,
wait, hold on. Did you notice the scene where Pam and LeVar Burton were together, and then she leaves, and there's this guy who's like, she's going through this.
there's this guy. Yeah, okay.
He's like, oh my God, there's a lady going with the files. And she's like, well, I gotta go down.
Oh, yeah, he says it so
right
quietly.
now.
If you don't have your captions on, you're not going to hear what he says. Yeah.
And then she goes downstairs. Jessica Fletcher. Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
And
Blaster
then, like,
takes her by the arm. And Blaster won't let anybody near Jessica. And I love that. It is kind of cute to see that Jessica can move around with impunity because Blaster will be there to, he'll beat the shit out of you if you give Jessica a hard time.
I don't know if I like this. I liked it, and then I'm like, this might be racist. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. What am I supposed to think?
So, Blaster ends up driving Jessica around as she collects her clues, which I don't know. What was Blaster driving? Like a Gremlin or something? It was really bad.
Like an Opel. I don't know what the fuck.
It was an ugly car.
Yeah,
so Blaster drives Jessica to Talmadge's home because she wants to talk to the maid in order to get some facts straight. And she's intercepted by Lieutenant Casey because he's there as well.
No, she shows up at the home of the dead man, and lo and behold, Lieutenant Casey is there. Hi, how are you? And then she asks him, what clothes are missing? It's a stupid clue. It's like, oh, there's a cashmere sweater was missing, and blah, 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 blah. Help me, Steve. Help me.
So, we find out that one of the things that Jessica suggests to Casey is like, you need to look at the phone logs.
No, it's stupid. No.
Well, because they don't have anything on Harry.
You haven't been doing your job all along?
Yeah. So he finally does that. Lieutenant Casey finally finds out that there was a call. Let's see, what was it? It was 2 minutes before the murder, and the call came from Poncini's office. Yeah. And so that's, Jessica's making the round. She talks to the doorman at Lois's apartment.
I totally thought it was him, too. And then I'm like, fuck.
So, but just,
bring that up.
I think she's got it worked down to who she thinks it is, but can't figure out how or who would have done it. Like, she's just that final clue. So she goes and talks to LeVar Burton. And that's when she realizes, or she tells him, like, father, I know it's your father, and that you want revenge. And LeVar's like, I decided to scrap the news article because, he's dead, and, now I feel like I'm a free man. I feel better. So as Jessica walks away, he's watching this football game, and she hears the announcer say, "Shotgun play," and that's when it hits. Shotgun
it's like a
play.
Columbo moment.
Speaking of Columbo moments, there's a scene. It was the scene where she's talking to Lieutenant Casey at Wade's house. She does kind of this over. Now, Peter Falk would do it all the time. It's when he was trying to think of something, and he would take his right arm and stretch it over the top of his head and scratch the left side of his scalp, bottom left. She does that in that scene, and I say that's total Columbo right there. Anyways.
agree. I'll agree with that.
Okay. I thought it was funny.
We are exactly 3 minutes away from me laying down. Okay.
All right. I'll finish it here.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So they end up releasing Harry. I mean, a couple of scenes later, they release Harry. And Harry and Jessica decide to go to Pansini's office to reenact that night. Now, there's some other things that lead up to having people aware that they're doing this. But as they go there, they discover that the bullet that Harry fired is missing from the couch. And that's when Sean shows up. Mm-hmm. And we find out what basically happens is that Sean took that slug, he put it in a shotgun shell, and fired it at Wade, and removed the clothing he was wearing that would remove the powder burns.
And can you explain this?
So he doesn't want to be the next Pansini. He knows that
Wade
is going to set him up in the future to take a dive in a fight, a future fight. But he feels like he's got potential. He can be a real boxer, a real contender. I could have been a contender. He's going to be that. He wants to prove himself. He's so full of himself, and he knows he's being set up. So he's preventing that by happening and taking out Wade. So, and that's why. And of course, the cops were at the Pansini's office. They heard all of this. You know, Harry pulls a gun. Blah blah blah. So, end of story. Blaster and Doc end up going off to the dairy farm. It was a real thing, and happy ever after. All right.
Blah 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 blah. I am so drunk, Steve.
I can tell.
I don't know if I can judge this properly, but I did watch it earlier today. Go ahead.
So, let's go ahead and get the number out. What we're going to review it, so you can have your post-drunken sleep.
Okay.
All right. And let's see here. There was a few numbers in this episode that I really liked.
Seriously, there's music. Why would you? Whatever.
Because I want to ramp you
with
up
the
for
music.
this, sir.
Oh God, sir! You can't.
What?
Sir, with the music.
You don't like the music. Oh, okay. So
okay, no,
I'm sure the readers enjoy the music.
Feelings.
I'm trying to entertain. What would you rate this 1 out of 47 as Harry is 47 years old?
Oh, I didn't like this that much.
You want me to do it first and then you follow?
Yeah, you do it first, Steve.
All right. First of all, this episode is way too fucking long. It's way too fucking long. I will say this. I enjoyed the all-star cast. And ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of great actors in this.
Yeah.
It's almost like what, this was episode 16 out of season 3. I don't know how many episodes there are total for episode 3 or season 3. Maybe they were like they had a pool of names they could use, and hey, it's getting to the end of the season. We got to throw everybody in. It is a great amount. We've discussed that already. So it was really fun to see those actors. Even the guy who played Blaster, I recognize the face, just don't recognize the things he's been in previously. Great episode, and I liked Blaster. I thought he was a fun character. I enjoyed the scenes where he's Jessica's enforcer. He's the scenes he's eating. There's a scene where they're walking through the park with Pam. It's Jessica, Blaster, and Pam, and they pass one of those big pretzel, those big doughy pretzel stands. And as Jessica and Pam are talking to each other, Blaster's distracted. I mean, the guy, his acting is great. He's so enveloped in food. When they pass the pretzel vendor, he's turning, and you can tell just by his face, he's like, that looks delicious.
Well, who wouldn't? I love them pretzels.
So that scene that they didn't have to have a pretzel vendor in that scene, but they had it in there for Blaster to react to, and I thought that was funny. It had its fun moments. I know you said earlier it didn't have a lot of scenes with Harry, but it really did. With those flashbacks, he was in all of it. It was just weird. It was in the if you brought the story up to speed, the current time of the story. Yeah, he was sitting in prison, but before that, we found out so much about him having sex with Lois, him trying to find a buyer for Blaster, his story with the mafioso guy who wants his $5,000 back. I mean, there was a lot of Harry in it. It just wasn't Jessica and Harry. They were like separate scenes. Very strange. So those were fun. I enjoyed that. It just, I guess the length, it just dragged on too long. I'm not going to give it the worst score ever, but out of 47, I would say I would give it a 30.
Okay. This is the 27th episode, and this is the episode where I finally get to say...
No, it's the 28th, isn't it? Is it 27th?
Yeah, it's the 27th, yeah.
Oh.
Where I get to say Angela Lansbury couldn't do it.
What? Couldn't do it?
She couldn't do it. No, this is horrible. This is a horrible episode. I realize the thing about what's his name falling around is kind of cute. Everything's kind of cute. Ernest Borgnine is fun. This episode needed more Harry McGraw. He was arrested halfway through, I think. Less than him.
No, pretty much the first 10 minutes.
Halfway through. And I wanted more of him. And, Steve, the stuff that when we were talking about Tough Guys Don't Die, which is the first episode with him, and I complained about him, the things that I didn't like about, like, hard-boiled detectives, blah, 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 I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. He does it. He actually, at one point, he calls somebody a barf bag. He calls a lady a dame. And then we get to Lieutenant Casey, who's okay.
What?
And then he calls somebody a retard, and we're not supposed to laugh at that in 2022. But he does. I don't know. I just felt like this was an episode that was written for some other detective show that we're not watching. And Jessica felt really out of place in that. Angela Lansbury didn't do that well in it.
It very much was a fish out of water for Jessica. Yeah.
Starting with, Jesus, Jessica. Have you ever seen boxing before? This is how it works. Have you, in your whatever many years that this is how it works. But get over that, and I don't know, Steve. I just don't.
You don't like it, okay?
I just don't like it. Yeah.
Now equate that dislike to a number.
What was the number that you brought up?
47 years old.
Okay, 47 years old. I'm going to give it a 16.
Wow.
I really don't like this.
It wasn't great, but I don't know if it was that bad.
No, it was bad. I don't like it. And also, the murderer's name was Sean.
I know. I like that.
Whatever. I'm joking. But whatever. It just feels like a show from another show, They did this with Magnum PI, which I don't know what we're going to do we get in that one. But the tone was just so off. And, even though Harry McGraw was in this, he wasn't a main player. I feel like he was just a device to have Jessica in it. And, yeah, the tone was just off. I just felt like I was watching a different show. So that's all I have.
Okay. You ready to get your cats out?
Yes! Cats! Come out!
Okay.
Wait, I have to get my... Shit.
So I'm going to play a little music while they come out.
Steve, I don't have my glasses. Steve, I don't have my glasses.
We're just waiting for the cats to come out.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Oh, there they are. Okay. Ow. Okay. Wait, relax. Okay.
Is there a cat song I could pull up that'd be more fitting for the cats?
Wait, hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, cats. Please, Steve, can you please spin the wheel?
Huh?
Spin the fucking wheel, Steve.
Okay. I'm spinning it now. It's clicking and clacking away. No, you don't.
All right, it's going to be...
Yes.
Deadpan from
Dead what?
season 4. Deadpan. Like,
Pan, like a... You cook with?
yes, but it's one word. Deadpan. It's one word, Steve.
Deadpan. All right. What episode is that?
I don't know what episode it is.
I'm going to have to look
it's
this up.
It's in season 4, Deadpan. And I can look it up right here. I've got it. Hold on. There's people listening to this that are like, you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait to see what. Okay. Hold on. Deadpan. Okay. All the world's a stage when... I'm doing it in my Bill Cosby voice. All the world's stage when the critic who raved about a Broadway play...
This is very offensive.
...based on one of Jessica's books becomes a murder victim.
So wait,
right,
Jessica has Broadway plays, children's TV programming, video games, all based off her works. She's like the Agatha Christie from the 80s. It's amazing.
All right, wait, hold on. All the world's stage when the critic raved about a Broadway play based on one of Jessica's books becomes a murder victim. Doesn't that sound like fun, Steve?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens.
There's people listening that right now. I don't know if they're like, well, fuck this. I'm not gonna listen to this. And if they're still listening, God bless them. You know,
right?
Ma'am, sir, whatever. Steve, I gotta go to bed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another spectacular episode of Cabot Cove Confab, where Sean is totally wasted, and I have yet to catch up to him, so I'll get there tonight.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, God. Good night.